Politicians on both sides of the political spectrum are fighting hard to increase surveillance in the United States after the recent terror attacks in Paris and also the mass shooting in San Bernardino, California. Now, that includes Hillary Clinton and politicians like Jeb Bush. Of course, Donald Trump is calling for more surveillance, but Donald Trump rarely knows what he's talking about. Let me give you more details on that. Now, Hillary Clinton recently gave a speech about this, and she said, we're going to need help from Facebook and from YouTube and from Twitter. We cannot permit the recruitment and the actual direction of attacks or the celebration of violence by this sophisticated internet user. So she's specifically talking about Islamic militants there, people who are using social media in order to either radicalize or recruit people. She continues to say they're going to have to help us take down these announcements and these appeals as quickly as they get up. Now, I think she touches on something interesting there because social media has been used successfully by Islamic extremists in order to recruit people, and it does seem as though some of these accounts and profiles come down very slowly. So there are other things at play here that no one really considered, at least I didn't consider, and it's the public's perception of these social media sites and whether or not they're doing too much to work with politicians, right? They're worried about their image. Now, Donald Trump said the following: we have to start looking at families now. I think his mother knew that what was going on. She went into the apartment. Anybody who went into that house or that apartment knew what was going on. Now, he's speaking about the shooter in San Bernardino, California, and he's saying we need to investigate every single family member because they obviously knew what was going on. So he wants more surveillance in that regard.
Okay, first of all, we have no idea if the mom knew. The authorities are figuring that out. If they figure out that she knew, that's a serious problem, right? Yeah. Apparently, another guy helped him buy the weapons. Serious problem. We should look into that. But Trump, as usual, running off at the mouth with no information. Highly ironic because he's saying, we need better intelligence. Now, let me tell you something without any intelligence. Okay. Now, overall, all these people, whether it's Hillary Clinton or even more so the Republicans, like Marco Rubio.
Yeah, Marco Rubio wants to expand the NSA's program that, Edward Snowden had leaked about back in 2012.
Now, we haven't ended the metadata collection, right? So all these guys are saying, yeah, it didn't work, but I want to do more of it, right? But when you think about, like, wait, if we're going to surveil the families and we're going to surveil people that we have no intelligence on, that means we're surveilling people randomly. Now, if we're doing that, we don't have a warrant, we don't have probable cause, it's deeply un-American, and probably deeply ineffective.
It is deeply ineffective. Okay, so the NSA's program just indiscriminately collected metadata on everyone in the United States. Didn't matter who you were, didn't matter if you were the most innocent, hardworking, productive member of society. They were collecting your emails, they were collecting your phone calls. They say they were just collecting metadata, but through that metadata, they can paint a very clear picture of your day-to-day life, right? So there are lots of problems there. Why should Americans give up their constitutional rights in an effort to catch terrorists? Now, if it was successful, then maybe we're having an argument, but it's not successful. I mean, Dianne Feinstein, I always go back to this because this is the thing that I always find amazing. Dianne Feinstein, the same senator who was very much in favor of the NSA's program, was the same person who said right after the leak, oh, we're more unsafe than ever. Well, why are we so unsafe if you're collecting all this information indiscriminately of every American in the United States? Isn't it supposed to keep us safe?
My favorite quote from this Guardian article on this issue was, though metadata collection and analysis had apparently failed to identify Farouk, the shooter in San Bernardino, who's born in the United States, and his wife, Tashfeen Malik, as security risks, the program should be redoubled, Rubio said.
I just want to note that every time something tragic happens, either in the United States or abroad, that is a perfect opportunity for politicians to exploit the tragedy for their own political gain or to trample on our rights. And that's exactly what happens after a terrorist attack. Terrorist attack happens, the media fearmongers about it, politicians fearmonger about it, and Americans buy into that fear and immediately give away their rights. Like, yes, yes, spy on me, please, please. Big Brother's watching. Who cares? They're keeping us safe. They're keeping us safe. They're not keeping you safe. If you're an innocent American, you shouldn't have to worry about the government looking into the kind of porn you're watching. It's none of their business, right? Look, and another problem is, even if you are an innocent American who's done nothing wrong and you're like, whatever, have at it. Look through all my emails, listen to all my phone calls, check out the porn I'm watching. It's an issue because it intimidates people from being politically active, right? If you know the government has any dirt on you, maybe you're having an affair, maybe you are watching some questionable porn, whatever it is, you're not going to want to stir the pot. You don't know whether or not that information is going to be used against you if you're holding politicians accountable. It's a terrible idea, and I don't want Americans to buy into the fear-mongering, although it seems like they already have.
Rubio also said, that's exactly why the metadata program is so critical. People wind up on your radar who perhaps wouldn't have been on your radar. Wait a minute, that's why it might be a bad idea, right? Maybe they shouldn't be on your radar. We want to catch people who should be on our radar.
I hate seeing tragic events being exploited so Americans give up their rights. And that's what's been happening since 9/11. It continues to happen, and we're just willingly allowing politicians to do this because they're supposed to keep us safe. They're obviously not keeping us safe.